Hey, what's up? You might be wondering, you might be thinking, hey, Sean, buddy, what's going on? That doesn't look like your office. That looks like a nice view. It doesn't look like Portland. Well, actually, it's kind of gray today, so it might look like Portland. But I've been waiting a long time to say this. And hello, Location Rebel on location, Sydney, Australia. Damn, it feels good to say that. Let's do this thing. So today we're going to talk about one of the most important lessons I have learned over the last couple years. But before we get into it, you might be wondering, Sean, what the heck are you doing in Australia? So here's the deal. My wife, every 5 years, she gets a 6-week sabbatical. She is forced to take time off and do, well, whatever she wants. 5 years ago, we did our sabbatical trip around the world. We started in New York, we went to Munich, we road tripped through Italy, Venice, Slovenia, China. We volunteered at a panda reserve. We did all sorts of cool stuff. Our plan this time was we've got Elliot, we've got a 2-year-old now. So we're like, hey, let's not do something crazy. Let's just go to like a resort in Mexico. And 2 weeks ago, we're like, you know what? We can do a resort in Mexico whenever we want. Let's go big. Let's do a road trip through Australia. Yeah. So 2 weeks ago, we said, let's go to Australia. Bought some tickets, flew to Sydney. Here we are. We're here for another 5 days. And then we're going to drive at 8-10 hours to Melbourne. We're going to hang out there for 8 days. And then we're going to get on a plane. We're going to go to Tasmania. Who the hell goes to Tasmania? We do. Why not? So, and then we fly back to Sydney and then we fly back home. 3 weeks. So all of that to say, that's what I'm doing in Australia. But you probably don't really care about that. So let's get into the point of this video. Today, we're going to talk about a really, really important lesson I have learned over the last couple of years. And if you are starting a business on your own, if you have kids especially, then this video is for you. I think you're gonna get a lot of value out of it. So on January 2nd, 2021, we're in the heart of COVID. I have not traveled in months. And I wrote in my journal, from here on out, things will always be more inconvenient. Don't let that stop you from doing things. 3 days later, my daughter Elliot was born, and here we are 2 years later, and you know what? I was right. Life is a lot less convenient. But I've built my entire brand, I've built everything I've done with Location Rebel and everything else over the last decade plus, all around the idea of doing things that are interesting, of building a business that allows you to do more of the stuff you like to do. So even though it has gotten far more difficult and far more complicated to do things, I found so much more value in doing them. So here's why all this matters to you. Whether you have kids or not, chances are life is inconvenient. There's never going to be a right time to start your business. Never going to be a right time to quit your job. There's never going to be a right time to pick up that hobby you've always wanted to do. There's never going to be a convenient time to take that trip you have always wanted to take. But just because it's not convenient, you shouldn't not do it. When I started Location Rebel in May of 2009, I had a day job. I was working 50 hours a week. I didn't know a thing about blogging. And when I got off work, I had to go back to a 485 square foot apartment with my girlfriend, now wife, to grow the business, to start the blog, to figure out what the hell I was doing. And that certainly wasn't convenient, but I'm glad I did it because that's led me to places like this. So here I am in Sydney. I have wanted to go to Australia ever since I was 8 years old. My friend Zach and his family were going to Australia and they said, hey, if you can pay for the plane ticket, we'll cover everything else. I went and bought a lottery ticket. I won 20 bucks on a scratch it Monopoly ticket and I didn't get any more money than that. And I spent the 20 bucks on something that God knows what. So my point with all of this is simply to say one thing. Go do the thing. It's probably going to be inconvenient. It might be hard. It might be expensive. It may take a leap of faith. It may take taking a chance. But this is going to sound cheesy. And I swear I was the one that coined this. You will see this everywhere. But I first wrote this in 2009, and it still holds true today. There are only 7 days in a week, and someday is not one of them. Still cheesy. Still love it. Still true. So, if you're thinking about starting a freelance business, if you're thinking about starting a blog, if it is inconvenient to do so, do it anyway. I promise you, it will lead to great things. It has the potential to change your life. And take it from me. I just got off a 24-hour travel day with a toddler. 2-hour flight to LA, 3-hour layover, 15-hour flight to Sydney. I got in a rental car that we waited an hour for, and then started driving on the wrong side of the road, because that's what you do down here. And here we are. And today, we had a phenomenal day. We went down to the harbor. We went to the aquarium. We went to a top 100 bar. That's still happening. So, yeah, do the thing. You'll be glad you did. There you go. That's my video. That's my video from my balcony here in Sydney, which, by the way, you should see the view from over there in the dining room / kitchen area. You can actually see the water. I love this city. All right, cool. We'll see you on the next one. Have a great day. Peace.